everybody. Welcome back to Happily Booked. I almost forgot what we were called just then. The bookcast where two kindred spirits believe that the pursuit of happiness is the same thing as reading a good book and being able to talk about it. We're your hostesses, Brooke and
Beck.
And yeah, Becky, it's your turn to have a quote. You have one? No pressure.
LOL. So I had a quote, but I forgot my book, so I had to last minute look up a quote online. And this was the best replacement. It's not as good as my quote that I did have. A pig painted gold is still a pig. Kind of like that.
Oh, what is that from?
That's from The Great Hunt.
Oh, okay. I didn't know, like, since you didn't have your book, if you were just gonna like find any quote and like have me guess. Because in my head, this is gonna be kind of embarrassing. But I sort of thought, I wonder if that's like from Animal Farm or something.
That's funny. I should have looked up something like that.
I don't even know if we were supposed to read Animal Farm in high school, or well, some of the English classes were. I don't know if mine ever did. I don't think we did. I don't remember. So I don't know if I've ever even read Animal Farm now.
Too long ago to remember.
I know. I'm scared to move my microphone because it's like I can't see you. So I feel like I'm just talking to the computer. But I'm scared to move my microphone because I don't want it to start buzzing.
That's okay. I mean, I don't mind it if you don't look at me.
Don't look at me. Okay. Straight into it, I guess. Do you have any hauls or miscellaneous topics you'd like to discuss?
I don't have any hauls. Is that me?
Maybe. I don't
know.
Oh my goodness. It might be us.
But I am working on some more strawberry loofahs.
Oh, those were so cute.
Thank you. The second one I made, I think I missed a row. Oh. And it looks like a turnip instead of a strawberry. It looks so crazy.
That's funny.
But I'm working on another one, and I think I already started off better because the bottom looks like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So I think by the time I finish, it'll look good. I have one of our coworkers wants to buy one, and one of our customers wants to buy one. So I've at least got 2 pre-sold. So it's like I have to make those.
Yeah, that's good motivation.
Maybe I should just hold it.
That's so sad.
What about you?
Actually, I had a question, but the buzzing was distracting me. How big are the loofahs? Like, if you can use one hand to describe it, since you're holding the microphone.
So, it's almost big enough for like, what's that? For a bar of Ivory soap is almost big enough for that to fit in it. We buy natural soaps, and they're a little bit shorter, and I guess I don't know if square's the right word, but they're not as rectangular, so they fit better. And we also have circular soaps that fit in pretty well.
Yeah.
But it also works really well with liquid soap. You just put that on the outside.
Yeah.
It fits in your hand pretty well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Whose idea was that?
That actually was mine. So what happened was I was going to make a strawberry plushie.
Yeah.
But when I started using the material or, the yarn, I said, why does this yarn feel like not normal yarn?
Yeah, like it wasn't soft?
No. And when I looked, it's called scrub.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's meant for washcloths.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, how about I make like a little pull string on the top where you can pull it closed around the soap, and it can be a loofah. So that's where I got the idea from.
That's a great idea. I want to get that scrubby yarn. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
you're fine. It comes in different colors. Like there's yellow and orange. I have red and green. Going crazy here.
Yeah. Little daredevil taking her hand off the microphone.
I got the red and green that I got because it was the only yarn that had those specific reds and greens. Okay. And like I wanted to make a strawberry, but I didn't want it to look like a weird colored strawberry.
You didn't want it to be like cartoony.
Yeah.
Kind of. That's the best way I can think of.
So I was looking for a natural looking red, and so that's how I accidentally ended up with the scrubby material. But I like to turn lemons into lemonade, so
yeah. That's You like to turn strawberry plushies into strawberry scrubbies.
That's right.
Yeah. Speaking of interrupting you, I feel like last episode I interrupted you a lot, or like cut you off a lot.
Really?
And I know you're gonna say, no, you didn't, or I didn't even notice, or what are you talking about, Brooke? But I feel like I did. So sorry. When I listened back when I was editing, I was like, Brooke, shut up. She's literally talking. Like, what is wrong with you? And like, you were unfazed. You didn't care at all. You must just be used to me. And I just apparently was too excited to hold any thoughts in my head, I guess.
That's funny.
But yeah, sorry.
I'm the oldest of 6, and I think we probably just cut each other off all the time growing up. And I think from how I look at it, my dad hates to be interrupted.
Yeah.
But I think if your friends that, like, when we roomed together in college, my sister and another girl, we went visiting another friend, and his dad was just laughing because we were cutting each other off, but we were also actually finishing each other's sentences.
Yeah.
And we just kind of knew what the other one was saying. I just don't, it doesn't hurt my feelings because I feel like that's when you have a good relationship.
Yeah.
When you could just interrupt or finish a sentence or whatever. Yeah. And it doesn't faze me at all.
Good. Yeah, Katie, our avid listener, I was like, I think I cut her off a lot. And she was like, I don't think so. I was like, well, that was nice of you to say. It was so funny. You know how last week I was like, I got this technically actually for my friend, avid listener, Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. Mm-hmm. But then I got a copy at the thrift store. And I said that on the podcast, and she sent me a text and she said, I just started reading it. I was like, okay, good luck.
Well, I hope she likes it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I guess it's probably good. Riley Sager tends to be, I guess, pretty popular. So,
yeah.
You know, I've only read the one. I haven't read anything else by them. So, whatever. I will at some point. So I think my mom has read like over 50 books, but I'm not sure.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
That's good.
I will say most, like it doesn't count, but most of it has been audiobook because she's been listening kind of like what I've been doing on the way to work, on the way back, and she can actually listen at work, which is really cool.
That is cool.
I'm so jealous of that. I would love to have an occupation where I could read in the downtime. That would be so fantastic. I showed her how to work Storygraph. Mm-hmm. So she should have added you as a friend.
Oh, okay.
So you might have to check your Storygraph notifications.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Oh, we forgive you.
We drink some water.
Yeah. So she added you and everybody else that we're friends with so far on Storygraph, or at least that I'm friends with. There might be one person you're not friends with, but yeah. So I'm proud of her. Okay, so speaking of Storygraph, I am now back to 9 books until I'm back on track. So that's good. That's good. Which sort of reveals that I finished a few things. But did you finish anything?
I have not. I thought I was going to finish the Cornish Midwife.
Yeah.
But I still have an hour and a half left in it.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
I am in chapter 39.
Wow.
Of The Great Hunt.
Ooh.
And I don't remember how many chapters are in there. 49 maybe.
Okay.
So I'm pretty close.
Yeah, you're getting there too.
And it's getting good. I mean, it's been good the whole time.
But it's getting exciting.
Yeah,
now.
It's that part in the storyline where it reaches that crescendo, and then you have the finale or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's getting crazy. And I'm
exciting.
I'm so excited about it. I didn't read last night because I went to bed with a headache, but but it's okay. I'm going to be finished with both of those very soon, and then I can start our book club book.
Yeah, our book club book. Which book is that again? By who?
Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Good information there. Way to slip that in, Becky. Yeah, I need to start that at some point. Oh, no. I had a question, actually. My brain, Are you liking the Cornish Midwife? Midwife?
Yeah.
Yeah, Midwife.
It's not bad.
It's
Parts
not
of
bad, but
parts of it are a little cheesy, I guess, but
Yeah.
I mean, it is a romance.
Okay.
Um,
That was gonna be my next question.
it's definitely a romance. They talk about some subjects that are like might be hard for some women to hear.
Yeah.
They talk about loss of babies,
Yeah.
miscarriages, and like they touch on some pretty, I guess, heavy stuff actually in the book. It's very interesting how she has it written. I mean, I'm enjoying it a lot. 3.5 seems kind of low for what other people are giving it, but I'm waiting to see how the end goes. Maybe something happens.
Yeah, maybe it like surprises you, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll see. I like that for the most part, at least so far. I have an hour and a half left, so I don't know.
Right.
Every situation that she comes to has a good outcome.
Okay.
And so, like, unlike Michael
Real
J.
life.
Sullivan
Oh.
book where everybody
Yeah.
dies,
Right.
it has a good outcome.
Everyone's okay.
As I like that, and maybe that's why some people gave it a 3.5. Maybe they wanted to see a little bit more,
Yeah. A little more drama.
a
A
little more
intensity.
sadness, like
Yeah.
real life,
Heartbreak.
whatever. But all in all, I mean, I think it's written well. The girl's voice doesn't get on my nerves.
That's
who's
always
reading it.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I like it.
Okay. So like, you know how romance can have like there's like different types of romance.
Yes.
So is it like just a normal like contemporary romance, or is it like almost like a comedy romance, or is it like, I guess it's not spicy, is it?
It's PG.
Okay, yeah.
It's PG. Emma could read it.
It is okay for tots.
It is okay for tots.
That's funny.
It's not a comedy.
And there's no mystery, right?
No, there's no mystery.
It is just a romance.
I would say, I guess, contemporary. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I don't know how to describe it without.
Giving
I don't know if
anything away.
anybody's going to want to read it,
They might.
but
They
if
might.
they do, I don't want to ruin it. You
Right.
know, it's basically, well, there's one main character in the book, but she has a couple of friends that she meets when she moves back home. And so, like, the last bit of the book is kind of about her and this other girl. And it's just really, it takes you through a couple of breakups and then a couple of people getting together. And it's just really, it's kind of sweet. There is one more
Okay.
story. There's one more storyline left to be wrapped up, and that one could end badly, but I'm hoping not.
So you think it's I don't know why I feel like I need to dissect this with you right now. But do you feel like it's cheesy enough to be considered almost like a Hallmark romance? Or is it just more just contemporary
I think
romance?
it's probably better written than a Hallmark romance. No
Okay,
offense,
yeah.
Hallmark.
No, I mean, yeah, I understand what you mean. No
I
offense,
think
no offense to you, Hallmark. I'm not offended for you.
I think the reason why I said a little bit cheesy is just because, like, there's a breakup, and then there's a rekindling of a relationship, and it seems like it happens kind of fast.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, if they were like in love, for real, and then they were apart for so long, I mean, maybe it would make sense that they would get back together. It seems very quickly, but that was the only thing for me. Like, that kind of feels rushed or hokey or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Hey, I understand. Some things are just cheesy. I get it.
but I mean, all in all, it's a good book.
That's good. Okay. I think that's all the questions I have for you regarding the Cornish Midwife. Who wrote that again?
Joe Bartlett.
Joe Bartlett. Okay, and you only have like 10 chapters left in The Great Hunt. That's exciting. Okay, what's the next one? Dragon something?
The Dragon Reborn is the next one.
Oh, wow. That's exciting for you. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, Emma's really excited about getting to that one. She can't wait.
Which one is Emma at?
She's still in The Great Hunt, so she quit reading a long time ago
Oh.
because she was so far ahead of me.
Oh.
So she waited for me to catch up, and now she's finishing as well.
That was very considerate of her and patient.
That was very patient because where she stopped is pretty exciting. And I
Yeah.
don't know if I would have stopped. I'd been like, Mom, I'm sorry.
If I'm reading a series, like buddy reading a series with somebody, I'm not stopping. I'm just gonna keep going. If you're behind, you're behind. Like, that just is what it is. there was one year several of my friends and me all started to read Harry Potter, and I beat all of them. And I was like, I know it's not a competition, but I'm not waiting. So.
But then again, it is a competition.
Right. I can't help it. It's going to be a competition. Okay. So I finished 1, 2, 4 things.
Wow.
I finished 4 books, technically. Isn't that an improvement?
That is.
But I'm only 9 books behind on Storygraph. It went back up to 11, and I was like, no. And I kept reading, and now I'm back down to 9. So, oh man, I'm so behind. Okay, the first thing I finished, and I did type up reviews for, I finished 4 things, so I typed up like 2.5 reviews. So I'm going to read those. But the first thing I finished was The Wolf Gift by Anne Rice.
Okay.
And I'm just going to read what I typed here. So Godspeed. Okay. So it finally happened. I finally finished The Wolf Gift by Anne Rice. Yay me. I went into this story with super high hopes. I don't know why exactly, other than the small knowledge I have that Anne Rice is apparently very profound, I suppose. I know it mainly has to do with her vampire books, though, and not so much to do with her 2 measly werewolf books that nobody even knew she had. That's clearly my purpose, to make everyone aware of them. I never checked the overall average rating or anything like that on Goodreads because I was specifically in the mood to read this book, and I stuck with that gut instinct to just read it and form my own opinion. Not saying that people who look up ratings prior to reading don't have their own opinion. It's just that sometimes it's exactly what you need to come into a new story pretty much blind and like unaware of the plot. I'm glad that's how I approached the first Anne Rice book that I read. I feel like I was able to develop and alter my opinion properly throughout the whole story as it was introduced to me. I will admit it didn't completely wow me or blow every other book out of the water by any means, but I will say it was pretty good. So it started off pretty average, entertaining still, but average. A young, handsome reporter named Reuben shows up to interview the mysterious and inviting Marchant, who is the owner of this grand Gothic manor in the California redwood forest. Great setting. Now the next bit, you could probably guess. Something occurs. Reuben, our main man, gets attacked by some creature of unknown origin around this spooky Gothic manor. A strangely wolf-like creature, mind you, and therefore gets thrust into learning and understanding his newfound werewolfness. I don't know if that's a word. I was apprehensive at first when I was introduced to Reuben because he does a certain act at the beginning that for a little bit of time makes him kind of unlikable in my opinion. Luckily, the utter dislike that Anne Rice built for me to feel for Reuben disappeared shortly after. I will say Reuben is still not my favorite hero character by any means, but he definitely does turn around and become generally likable. The story takes off from the attack, and you follow Reuben as he learns to master his new abilities. This part actually becomes very fun and entertaining to read. He becomes this sort of vigilante character, and I greatly enjoyed that aspect. I don't think I've ever read about a character who was or became a true blue vigilante, but now Anne Rice helped me understand that sort of trope, I guess you could say, is something I rather enjoy. Then as the story progresses, some moments happen that I found to be rather odd and off-putting. They were sexual in nature, not explicit by any means, just odd. Not an encounter I would enjoy ever reading about again. And I know that this sort of romanticism is definitely perfect for someone's reading taste, but it just wasn't for me. But that is okay, and luckily it doesn't really impact the rest of my review very much. The story goes on with some sort of mysterious antagonist being introduced, our vigilante, I can't talk, going into hiding after he protects people with his new powers, an intriguing mystery revolving around the manor house and his budding, sort of odd relationship with another character evolving. About this part of the story, I feel like it really slowed down and perhaps felt that way because these several things were happening all at once. I'm not entirely sure. The beginning third was already sort of medium, sometimes slow-paced feeling. But the second third of the book, I feel it went down to a slow pace altogether, which isn't a bad trait to have. But I did find myself sort of bored with it here and there until I felt that it picked back up. And what I would determine as the last third of the book is when it picked up its pace and got more interesting. Until this point, I had decided that it was probably going to be a 3-star read for me. But once our protagonist went to save a new character named Stuart, random guy named Stuart, that's when it really started to hit the fan. The action picked up, relationships were established between Reuben and several new, very important characters. The knowledge and history of the werewolves began to be explained, and you go into the ending of the story with a very lovely feeling of Reuben having found a new family for himself, and you can't help but rejoice over it for him and for you as the reader, because it was just a very well-written last chunk of the story. As decently rounded as the story was, it did leave you with some follow-up questions that would spark your interest in reading the sequel, The Wolves of Midwinter. I left this story pretty pleased, and it was enough to bump the 3-star up to a 4-star in my opinion. I can definitely see myself picking up the sequel in the future. Whew! That was the longest review I think I've ever typed up in my little notes. Oh my goodness. Did you catch all that?
I did. That was a good review.
Oh, well, thank you. I might actually put it on the internet. Yeah, it was, all those things. It was fine. I've not like had the urge to buy the sequel or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not, I don't know. If I read all the things I'm planning to read already and then still have the urge to read it, I might like maybe check the audio version if they have one on Scribd, or download it on Kindle. I'm going to try to read some Kindle books in the upcoming future to save space in my home. Wish me luck.
Austin just needs to build you some bookshelves.
I'm saying, like, come on. I need a pool and some bookshelves. Okay. So
we don't ask for too much around here.
Yeah, pool, come on now, pocket change. The next thing I finished was my reread of Impact Winter by Travis Beacham. Also known as the best audiobook Brooke has ever listened to. So, I'm confused when I want to say audiobook because it is also listed as an audiobook, but it is also listed as a podcast.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a narrative podcast technically, but it's also an audiobook. But it counts. So in my head, it's still the best audiobook I've ever listened to. And I wouldn't say, I don't know, that's tough because I don't think I would also say the best podcast I've listened to. Because the best podcast, since you're wondering, the best podcast I've listened to was probably Rabbits by Terry Miles. I really enjoyed that one. But that one, like, you knew automatically it was a podcast. Like, it had the immediate feel of a podcast, but Impact Winter, you go straight into it and it immediately feels just like a really high quality audiobook. It's an audiobook, right? Okay. So I did type up a little kind of also long review. Not as long as The Wolf Gift, though. That was a lot. I typed a lot. So I did type up another little review for Impact Winter. I'm just going to read it. So, sorry. I can't even talk on a on a normal basis, just out loud with my thoughts. And I apparently can't even read what I type. So, whatever. I swear, though, I know how to read. Like, I read perfectly fine. I don't know. Okay. I re-listened to Impact Winter by Travis Beacham. I listened to the story for the first time last year and decided to give it a re-listen because the second season was just released. That's another reason why I question it, because the second one is called Season 2, which is like podcast vibes, right?
Yeah.
Anyway. Season 2 was just released, and if it was going to be anything at all like the first season of Impact Winter, then I knew I just couldn't wait to start it. and I wanted the previous events fresh in my mind. Of course, I was not disappointed yet again. The last time I actually reviewed this story was just after my initial listen of it, and I still believe that it is probably the best audiobook I have ever listened to. Now, I know it's also listed as a podcast. I just went over this. But you can input it into Goodreads and Storygraph as an audiobook, so it's both in my opinion. Also, you don't necessarily need to re-listen to the first season if you don't want to before starting the second one, because the opening of the second one, spoiler, I started the second one or whatever, conveniently gives a decent recap of the first season's events.
Guys.
What is happening? I could hear their callers. I was like, what's going on over there? Remy, get down. Remy, get down. Get down. No, go lay down. Go attack Emma. Okay, where was I? Gives a decent recap of the previous... okay. Second one conveniently gives a decent recap of the previous events that occurred in the first season, so that's really just up to you. I'm glad I re-listened to it, though, because honestly, it just gave me so much joy and thrilled me so much to listen to this genuine work of art again. Do I sound like I'm in love? It's because I am. As I have mentioned before, the quality is top-notch with Impact Winter. Audible truly seemed to spare no expense when creating this audio experience. The quality is very good. Everything is very clear. Honestly, if you listen to it, you may want to actually have the volume down like 1 or 2 notches, because some encounters or scenes can almost be too loud. But I personally had no problems with having the volume down just a hair. The sound effects within the opening alone hooked me the very first time I listened to it, and honestly, it still gave me chills the second time I listened to it. The sound effects do not disappoint throughout the rest of the story. It is 10 out of 10 the entire way through. I know I've mentioned it several times now, but this story was by the producers of The Walking Dead and the writers of Pacific Rim, and their ability to create a well-rounded story is just phenomenal. Audible, or whoever exactly was in charge of finding the voice actors for the story, was also clearly a genius because the voice actors are so talented. I listened to a few other narrative podcasts / audio dramatizations, and they like to say that it's, quote, TV for your ears, unquote. And that's exactly what Impact Winter is. It's some of the most entertaining, exciting, thrilling, heartbreaking, and stand up and cheer with your arms in the air by the end TV for your ears I have ever heard. It is just so good, and I'm glad I didn't feel like the story was lacking the second time around, because that would have been truly disappointing. I'll be keeping this audiobook listed at 5 stars for now, and probably forever, because apparently I adore it. I can't wait to start the second season. I have very high hopes for it. Also, I don't know if I have ever mentioned this, but I did know this was already... I'm making up words. Also, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I did know this already, and you might as well. The Impact Winter is based on a comic series, so if that's something you are interested in, I'm sure they're worth the read. Wow. Hit that desk with my phone.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Perfect. Yeah. I'm clearly in love. And I never got around to writing a review for the second season, but I finished the second season. It was very good as well. That is all.
That's all, folks.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was great. Obviously, it's a totally different story because you can't have the same exact story. So it's developments are made, more relationships are brought up, more drama is brought up. The action is still 100%. The quality is still great, of course. The actors are still amazing. It was really fun to listen to the second season because there were some travel, like almost like quests in the first one, but not really. But the second one, there was a lot of like little individual quests that you were following until the big climactic end, and it was really good. It was still very, very good. The plot twist at the end of the second one, crazy. Crazy. I would have never seen it coming. I strongly recommend it as well. I don't know why I don't sound as in love with the second season, but it was very good. It was still 5 stars. It was amazing. I mean, it was amazing. This is like one of my favorite storylines to be following right now. Like, I just love it. I think I'm going to get my mom to listen to it because I just finally it's technically under her name, but I pay for it, the Audible account. And so I just finally found the password again and gave it to her so she can log in.
That's funny.
She was like, yeah, I'll start that. I'll give it a shot. Because I was like, she asked me for another audiobook recommendation. And I was like, you're kind of caught up with me at the moment. Do you seem interested in Impact Winter? It was like, it's awesome. And she's like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I was like, okay, well, it's on Audible. It's on Audible. So I'll have to give you the stuff when I get home. And she was like, no, I found it on Scribd. I was like, no, you didn't. And I forgot to tell her that there is some other story called Impact Winter, but it's not the same. The Impact Winter I'm talking about is by Travis Beacham, and it is an Audible original, so you can't find it on anywhere else.
Right.
And I was like, no. I said, I don't believe you. Send me a screenshot. and of course, she sent me a screenshot, and it was the other Impact Winter story. I don't know what it is. I said, oh, well, let me know if that's good. Whatever. And she's like, no, I stopped it and started something else. Like, okay, well, here's the login and password. It's in the library. Go crazy. So, yeah, I finished one more thing, which I got half of a review written for.
Yes.
I know this is exciting for you, isn't it? I feel like sometimes I'm like insufferable to be around.
No, you're not.
Not like I guess more like in a funny way.
I have a headache, or else I'd probably be more excited.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I don't mean to feel like, I don't want you to feel like I'm annoyed or bored. I'm not.
I actually don't. I really don't feel like you're bored or anything. I just when I talk a lot, I'm like, oh, this is probably horrible. In general.
I talk a lot as well. So
it's not horrible. Okay. So I also finished The Guide by Peter Heller, my physical book. Yay, I finished another physical book.
Yay.
Woohoo. Just
is
a little
this the one in Colorado?
It is the one set in Colorado. Good memory.
I do pay attention.
Yeah,
sometimes.
You do. Sometimes I do too. You did a good job.
Thanks.
As I was in the first few chapters, I typed this little note. I said, this book seems like it's almost like a love story written to the sport of fishing and an ode to like the life you leave behind when you're forced to grieve somebody, because it's really kind of depressing in the first few chunks of the book. But that's what it seemed like to me. So the actual review, kinda, half a review, sorta, starts here. Okay, so first of all, I picked this book up because it was pitched to me. Is it via or via? Or does it matter?
Via.
Is it via?
Why are you looking at me like that?
I was like, what, do I want to just start the sentence over? Okay, so first of all, I picked this book up because it was pitched to me via BookTuber to be a great pairing to Station 11. You know, I love that book. Personally, I didn't really feel like that was a good description to give. Of course, reading is completely subjective to the specific person reading it at the time, so perhaps that BookTuber genuinely felt that way. But of course that's possible, and totally cool for them. I didn't think that they really had much in common at all. Like at all. Not really at all. It makes me wonder if the BookTuber meant The Dog Stars by Peter Heller, because I know that is actually Peter Heller's actual pandemic book. I say I know that as a fact, but I actually haven't read it, so I could be wrong. But a pandemic seems to be traveling all over the world in the synopsis of that book. So regardless, the guide, in my opinion, does not pair wonderfully with Station 11. I don't really get where they got that from, personally. But with that being said, the guide is still a pretty good book. The love and care that the characters have for nature, that Peter Heller clearly has for nature, was written in the story really well. The feeling of grief is mentioned a lot in this story, and it definitely makes the story feel sad and heavy. The main character was enjoyable, and so was the secondary character for the most part once you were introduced to them. I found the secondary main character to be a little annoying, but for the most part, they were also pretty enjoyable. Again, the description of nature and love behind the what? I said description of nature and love behind the descriptions. What? It was written really well. Even though I kept seeing it everywhere, including the blurb on the front of the cover, it didn't click in my head that this was technically a thriller. I think because of the idea that I had in my mind that it was a good book to pair with Station 11, that it didn't even click in my head that it could be a thriller. But it was definitely a thriller. I mean, it wasn't Drowning by T.J. Newman by any means, but it was still very good. It was entertaining. That was all I typed up, so now I have to actually pull it out of my head. So the survival aspects of the story were really entertaining. The creepiness and slight mystery as to what the heck is going on at this what do you call it? Fishing resort. What the heck's going on? That was pretty strong. There were a few moments where I was like, oh, this is genuinely creepy. Like, maybe I should stop reading it because I'm about to go to bed. Kind of creepy. Not horrifying or scary, but just kind of unsettling. So I enjoyed that, of course. I wished it was more like Station 11, and that's really sad. That's really, I'm really biased now because I was told that it was a great book to pair with Station. So you would think that it would be very similar to Station 11. I just don't think it was. Station 11 focuses on like a pandemic and like what it is to be human and survive emotionally throughout, and obviously physically survive, but like more emotionally in the world now that you live in, and you grieve the life you had left behind, the things you'll never get back. And there's obviously a lot of grief in this book, as I mentioned, so there is kind of like that aspect. So I don't know if maybe they thought that. And it mentions a pandemic like for a second, but it doesn't affect them whatsoever. Like it does. I don't know. I don't think it was a good comparison, but it was still a pretty good book. Like if you want a thriller that's based in nature, and if you love fishing, first of all, like that was like a love story written to the sport of fishing. Like Peter Heller must love to fish because it was beautifully written. I don't like fishing, but I was like, wow, I want to go fishing. Like this is so sweet, and like I wanted to go get out in nature and stand in a river and like lay down on the ground outside. I mean, it really made me want to go back to Colorado, but that's not happening for a little bit. I've also never been to Colorado in like the warm months, which is when this book takes place. So I would really like to do that one point in time. But anyway, it was still very good. I ended up giving it a 4-star. So I think Peter Heller, I wish I had known this before I picked this book up. I think he is similar to Emily St. John Mandel in the same aspect that her books, Station 11, The Glass Hotel, Sea of Tranquility, blah, blah, blah. I think they are similar in the aspect that her books are all in the same universe, but they are all standalone books. And I think his are the same. They're all in the same universe. And I think it would have made sense for me to start with The River by Peter Heller. And then move on to The Dog Stars, which is the actual pandemic book. And then read the guide, because the guide talks about previous events that happen in the river. And then it addresses the pandemic that happened like 2 years ago in the book. That was killing people left and right, which it seems to be what The Dog Stars is. So I think I would have enjoyed it better if I went that order. I think I still will read those books. I mean, I
Mhm.
plan on reading the Dog Stars because that's the actual pandemic one.
Right.
So, but I just think that's better knowledge to have going into reading Peter Heller's books as
Yeah.
opposed to just, this is a great book if you like Station 11, you know?
Right.
Because it really, in my opinion, didn't really had nothing in common with Station 11 except that they mentioned the pandemic one time. And it was like,
Just in passing.
right, like it really had no, it was really just a nod to the previous book. Like that's all it had to be. So I don't know. It was really good though. I know I don't sound like it was really good, but it was a good like not 5-star, 4 stars. So, and I will read more of Peter Heller in the future. But yeah, those are that's everything I finished. 3 years later, here we are. So I can probably guess what you're currently reading. The Cornish Midwife and The Great Hunt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Have you jumped back on the Harry Potter train at all?
I have not.
That's okay. I was just curious.
I mean, I will eventually.
Yeah.
You know that month that I tried to read like 4 books at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably not the best way to read books.
So, last time you went to Ohio, you read like 5 books.
I did.
So this past time you didn't get that much done?
No, I was trying to listen to my audiobook.
Yeah.
When I was writing, and I was trying to also crochet.
Yeah.
But I get motion sickness in the car.
Yeah.
I think on the 17-hour ride, I crocheted 1 washcloth.
Yeah.
I might have started a second one. I can't remember. I slept a lot because I was feeling nauseated. My mom tried to let me ride up front, but I also tried to be nice and let my sister and my mom ride up front because my sister has health issues.
Yeah.
She's the one who had the cancer and stuff. So I was just like, I was trying to let them ride together and whatever. So I felt sick a lot of the way up and back. Thankfully, it wasn't a 17-hour trip back. There were no car accidents on the road and things like that. But I didn't do as much reading. And then Saturday was the family reunion. So I should have brought a book
Yeah.
to the family reunion just because. And then Sunday was church. And we spent time with some friends Sunday. And then Monday, I don't know what I think I might have done some reading on Monday.
Okay.
I mean, I read here and there anyway.
Yeah.
But I think I did the majority of my reading on Monday. But we went out to eat with my mom's best friend since second grade or third grade. I don't remember when they met. So she's known her for a very long time, and we went out to eat with her.
Well, that's just precious.
Yeah, so, yeah, I didn't do as much reading as I wanted to do.
That's okay. I mean, it is okay to spend time with family and friends, everyone. I was just curious because she did read like 5 books last time, and I was like, whoa.
I did. Well, I was antisocial towards my mother on the trip up the last time because I listened to the book riding in the front seat with her. So I left her all alone in her own little world. And
oh, goodness.
I didn't do that this time.
I guess that's okay. That's interesting. Every time I go out of town, I'm like, okay, I need to bring like 82 books because clearly I'm going to read all of them. And sometimes I get through a lot if we're out of town. Just depends on what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But these past few times, nope, haven't even finished the one I was initially reading. So I need to cut it down a little bit. That's what I think. Well, I am currently not technically reading a physical book yet. I know what I'm going to start.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm going to start?
Are you doing Neverwhere as a physical?
Good question. I am going to read Neverwhere as a physical book, but that is not what I'm going to start.
Oh, okay. Well, what are you going to start?
I'm going to start The Library at Mount Char by Scott Hawkins because it's been on my mind a lot. And it looks pretty thin, like an average size, I guess. The font is pretty tiny, though. It's not that tiny. It's a little small, but the space is, I think there's a decent amount of space in between. It's not like they're cramped in there, you know? But I've been thinking a lot about this book lately, so I was like, I want to read it. And originally, like 3 or 4 episodes ago, when I was telling you all of the upcoming audiobooks and stuff that I actually have planned out for me, I don't know if I actually told you what the titles were, but I did tell you I had like several books planned out. Mm-hmm. This wasn't the next physical book I had planned out. The next one was Rabbits by Terry Miles.
Oh, okay.
But I just kept thinking about this one, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to bumping her up. So I'm going to start this one next. I'll read the synopsis just because, I mean, I'm sure nobody knows what it's about. So, because, I mean, have you heard of it before?
No, not until you told me about it.
Yeah. Okay, so I will read the synopsis now. Yeah. And I'm going to just do that, like I said. Okay, so yeah, I'll read the synopsis now because I'm sure, again, nobody's probably ever even heard of this book. If you have, send me an email, message me personally. I want to know if you have heard of it, if you've read it, what you thought about it. Anyway, Caroline knows she's a little bit odd, but she figures that's only natural when she spent her life locked away in an infinite library, forced to study at the feet of the man who might be God. She's seen her share of terrible things in those years, even died a few times herself.
What?
It sounds almost kind of funny. I don't think it's going to be, though. Steve tries hard to be an ordinary guy, and he's been doing a pretty good job at it until Caroline shows up in his life with a tempting offer. A pair of red rubber galoshes. Exactly. $327,000. I wish somebody would show up with those.
Right.
I would take the red rubber galoshes. Soon, he finds himself swept up in a war waged on a scale he can barely comprehend. As powerful forces battle for control of the library and the future of the universe itself. I read that wrong. As powerful forces battle for control of the library and the future of the universe itself. Brilliantly plotted, blackly funny, truly epic in scope, and featuring a cast of characters that includes a tutu-clad psychopath, me, a malevolent iceberg, also me, and a lion named after an atomic bomb, you. The library at Mount Char is the year's most ambitious and acclaimed fantasy debut, and a ride like none you've ever been on before.
Okay, so it is supposed to be funny.
I guess so. So the first time I ever heard about this book was on the podcast Books Unbound. Mm-hmm. The co-host Raylene said she was about to start it and that she started it, and then she never talked about it again.
Oh,
and I was like, I need answers. and I have not listened to their podcast in a little while, not because I don't like it, I just haven't. So maybe she eventually brought it back up and what she thought of it. That'd be interesting to know. But I then was listening to another book podcast around kind of the same time. I mean, it happened like this happened like months in between each other, and I can't think of her name. But one of the co-hosts on Currently Reading, her name slipped my mind. She said that she wanted to talk about a book. They do the thing where they'll just talk about random books they've recently read. Mm-hmm. Not really like they might bring up exactly what they're currently reading. Or they'll just bring a book up that they think everybody should just read, like drop everything you're doing and read it. And this was one of those books for her. She was like, so I just finished like the library at Mount Char, and it was amazing. And it blew me away. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, finally somebody else read it. Like now I know, I feel complete. So now, I wonder why the first person never brought it back up, and I want to know what was so amazing about it, and I want to also be blown away by this weird story. And the first person also said it was very, very weird. So I'm excited. I hope it's really odd, and I hope it blows me away.
Was it Katie or Meredith?
It was Meredith. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Meredith is the one who said that it blew her away. So thank you to you, and thank you to Raylene, because the curiosity has stuck with me. So that's what I'm going to read physically next. I'm currently reading... I have just so many things to talk about. I'm currently listening to The Cursed Among Us by John Durgin.
Okay.
I don't have much to say about it at the moment. I think I have like 4 hours left. Like, it's not too long of a book, but I think it was like 6 hours or something to start with. But I still don't really have a huge opinion on it. It kind of reminds me a lot. First of all, John Durgin is clearly a fan of Stephen King because he references Stephen King a lot. And in the beginning of the book, before the actual story, there's a quote he put in there by Stephen King. I think it was from Salem's Lot. So if you like Stephen King, you might like this story. I've not finished with it yet, but you can tell it was also sort of inspired by a Stephen King novel. I want to say by It, but who's to say? So, it's pretty decent so far. It starts off a little disturbing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, Becky. It started off a little unsettling because you're following, in the prologue, you're following a, I guess, serial killer. And while he is disposing of a body.
Wow.
I'm just gonna say that because I actually know. I know what happened, but I can't spoil it. But that's how it starts off, and I was a little uncomfy reading it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It wasn't that bad. It just I don't know what exactly about it caught me off guard, but it was a little unsettling. But you're into the actual story. You're actually following a group of 4, like 15, 16, 14-year-old boys, and it's like, I don't know, it's either the 70s or the 80s, so no cell phones, no internet. But they're like horror fanatics. They love horror films, they love horror books. One of them loves Stephen King, wink wink. And they one of them wants to be a movie director when he gets older. So, and they just for fun, the rest of them just love to help him make these horror movies that they just film themselves. Cute, fun. So they go out into the woods that they're not supposed to be in, and they start to film some scenes for their horror movie, and they stumble upon this odd pile on the ground.
Oh.
And one of them goes to touch it, and things start to happen to them.
Oh.
Weird stuff starts to happen. What's going on? It's really creepy. So, I don't want to give too much away. If I say this, it's going to give it away. So never mind. But so far, it's pretty good. I can't think on the top of my head right now if they curse, but I'm sure they do. Because they're horror fans who are a fan of Stephen King, and the author was a fan of Stephen King. So I'm pretty sure there's some curse words in there. But yeah, it's pretty decent so far. I did find myself, unfortunately, blanking out for a second, and I had to come back, and I was like, "Hold on, what is happening?" Like it was like in the thick of it. Something was going on, and I was funny. Like, "Hold on, who's this happening to right now?" And it took a little bit for me to catch back up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." But I don't think that was the book's fault. I had the strongest urge today to tell Austin I want to paint the living room. So that's what I was thinking about, was painting the living room.
It's too early for you to be nesting.
That's what Cherie said. She was like, you started nesting. I was like, well, I guess so. I mean, it needs to be painted anyway. It's the one wall. It's the one wall in here we can paint. So I think I want to paint it. And yeah, so it's pretty good. I can't really give you a rating. I can't really say much else, but it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, that's all. That's it. Unless you want me to tell you all of the audiobooks I plan on starting next. But that's up to you.
How many are there?
Let's see. 3 audiobooks.
You can tell us what you're about to start.
Okay. Well, the first one I have written down here is In the Market for Murder by T.E. Kinsey. That's the second book. in a series. Remember, what was it called? I don't remember. Hold on.
Gotta look it up.
Yeah. In the Market for Murder. T.E. It's the second book in the Lady Hardcastle mystery series.
Oh, okay.
What was the first one called? Can't think of it. A Quiet Life in the Country. Okay, so the first one was A Quiet Life in the Country. This is the second one, In the Market for Murder. That's the next one I plan on listening to. It's on Scribe. First one was hilarious. I mean, absolutely hilarious. Did you end up listening to it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you should definitely
so.
listen to it. Whenever, you're busy. I think my mom may have listened to it, and she said it was really funny as well. I think I might be making that up. Anyway, the next one after that is the third book in the Starlight Shadow series, which was that spicy sci-fi series.
Oh.
This one is called Capture the Sun. So we had Hunt the Stars, Eclipse the Moon, and now Capture the Sun. And I'm excited. I think they're gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. I think I'm gonna like it. I think it's just gonna be a trilogy. I don't know for sure. We'll see. I have no idea. I know it's gonna be spicy though. Not for tots. Just getting that out there right now. Don't let your kids listen to it.
We already know.
We already know. Did I say about the author, Jessie Mihilak?
No, you didn't say that.
Okay, well, her name's Jessie Mihilak, I think. I mean, I know that's her name. I just don't know if I'm saying her last name right. Then the third audiobook I'm going to start is Falling by T.J. Newman, which is the other plain thriller book she has. So that's the one who wrote Drowning, which was amazing. Probably the best thriller I've listened to this year. I loved it. My mom just finished Falling, and she said it was also very good, so I'm excited. I can't wait. It's going to give me all the feels. I just know it. I'm going to cry, just like I did in Drowning. How exciting. And then the next physical book is going to be Rabbits. So unless I need to hustle up and get to Neverwhere, we'll judge that when we get there. So that's that.
How thick is Neverwhere? Pretty decent, huh?
It's that white one.
Yeah, looks pretty decent.
Yeah, I can look up. I guess I could get up.
You have a whole month to read it, so.
This copy I'm going to read is. Please hold. They like to trick you sometimes. They have snippets of other books in the back to get you interested to read the other one. And it tricks you. This is 399 pages. So that's, almost 400 pages.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I think I'll be able to. And worst case scenario, I will also listen to it on Scribe. But
just make sure.
Yeah. You haven't read a Neil Gaiman yet, have you?
I don't think so.
I hope you like it. He has a very unique and amazing way of storytelling. Like, it's just really interesting. And if you listen to any of his, and you're going to listen to Neverwhere?
Yes.
Okay, he'll probably be one of the narrators.
That'd be cool.
And he does a very good job. He's just a really good storyteller, and everything so far that I've read by him, I've really enjoyed. I don't think it's been a lot. Coraline, I physically read, and I really loved it. The Ocean at the End of the Lane, I really liked. And The Graveyard Book, yeah, he helped narrate in both of those, and they were really good. 5 stars.
I think I still want to physically read Coraline.
Yeah, I mean, I have it if you want to borrow it.
Because I know that the movie is different.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't say it's too different, but I guess that depends on what your judgment of too different is, because technically they do bring in a whole different character that wasn't in the books, but yeah. Other than that, though, I think it's pretty close, but the book was freakier. So that's one of the biggest things I remember, is that the book was a lot freakier than the movie.
Well, the movie was pretty freaky.
Yeah. Yeah, you're telling me. But yeah, I hope you like Neil Gaiman.
I mean, I liked Coraline,
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll like it.
He's interesting. He's really cool. Okay, yeah, I think that's Oh. Yeah. I think
That's it?
I think.
All right. Well, thank you, Kindred Spirits, for listening again this week. We appreciate it. Want to talk again about the affiliate marketing that we're doing. So if you want to purchase any of the books that we talked about, because we talked so good about them that you want to read them.
I mean, yeah. If only Impact Winter was a physical book.
Brooke is adding the links in the show notes so that you can click on it and order through there, and we'll receive money for that. So you'll be helping us out while you're doing something for yourself at the same time.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I mean, so win-win.
Hello.
If you're interested. And then also we still have all of the things that Miss Tracy has worked on for us, bookmarks, those really cute tote bags.
I love the tote.
They're so nice. They're very sturdy.
Yeah. It's holding one of them over here
has yarn in it.
Yeah, that's it right there. It's holding a big, huge skeins of yarn, so you know it'll do that.
And of course t-shirts, so you can advertise our podcast just by wearing a shirt.
Yep.
So there's all that, of course, and thank you to Miss Tracy for doing that for us. Thank you to the Sideways Sheriff for getting us started. We appreciate that, and everything that he does just in general. So check him out too, which will be nice for him if he gets more views and likes and all that. And I guess that's it from me. So thank you for listening. It's great to know there are so many kindred spirits in the world. And until next time, stay happily booked.